Upgrades.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another JVS movie review. Today, I'm reviewing a film that I did not want to watch. That's the best way to put it. And boy, was I blown away by this film. And this one is Wonka. Here's a quick synopsis. With dreams of opening up a shop in a city renowned for chocolate, a young and poor Willy Wonka discovers that the industry is run by a cartel of greedy chocolatiers. And this is directed by Paul King. It stars Timothée Chalamet and Kayla Lane as Noodle. That's the two main, to me. And Olivia Colman's in it also as one of the main bad guys in the film. But Wonka is a very special film in the sense that with it being based off of a character that everyone knows and everybody loves. And then we got a remake years ago with Johnny Depp that was very weird and freaky. I think Wonka came in behind the eight ball of people wondering, would this be something that they can enjoy watching? And from the opening song, the opening scenes of this film, you're in for a treat of noticing that this film is completely different from any other iteration we've seen of this character. And that's what makes this such a delightful movie. Even back to the original, I think it's called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I know the second one I think is called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, it's a psychedelic type of evil type of film in a way that tricks you into believing it's a kid's film. The second film is just creepy in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So coming into this one, it's so lighthearted. Paul King does a great job of this being a musical and framing it as a musical that's not overly a musical. It's a musical in a sense that Disney animated films are musicals. Like, yes, there's song selections, but it's not songs running throughout the entire film that makes you feel like you're watching a musical, kind of like what The Color Purple has done, where there's no doubt you're watching a movie when you watch that one. Here with Wonka, it's song selections, but it's song selections based in a sense of what animated films do and not necessarily what musicals do. And in turn, what that gives us is an opportunity to me fall more in love with the characters and not necessarily the songs. And not saying that the songs aren't good here. It's just that you get to know these characters even more. You get to love the innocence of Willy Wonka's character here. You also get to enjoy the way it's explained why he's so innocent, why he's so hopeful. Because again, when you look at past iterations of him, that's not what you get out of that character. So here, when you're introduced to a young man attempting to establish himself, and you see all the hope in the world, everything that he does, no matter what obstacle is thrown at him, like he goes through everything and still remains positive. It's a touching switch again from what we are used to seeing from this character, but it's also a touching switch for what we get for this time of year with films. Like, this is the quintessential family film for me of 2023. This is all the way a family film, and it's not one that you would expect it going into it to be as such. So when you're introduced to the story of him coming to this town of abundance of chocolate, you have the biggest chocolatiers in the world in this town, and he immediately becomes a threat to them because his chocolate is so different, so complex, and it adds a different element of excitement that the people want. And these chocolatiers do not like that in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And immediately we establish that they're going to be the villains of this film. That's another beautiful part of this movie, is that it's no beating around the bush of who the villain is going to be. You know up front, they're going to be the key villains here, along with other supporting villains. But it's weird. The supporting villains don't feel as evil as these chocolatiers, or the chocolate mafia is what I'm going to call them in this film, feel like just evil for no reason, but evil for no reason in a joyous way, the way we used to get from kids movies, where they would have like a Matilda, where they had this evil character, but it was joyous evil. It was mischievous evil. It wasn't like over the top, just evil for the sake of having a villain, but then also bringing down the tone of the film because the villain needs to be so evil. Here, these villains are silly. They sing, they dance, they give people chocolate to do their bidding. Like you can't get any better than that. But throughout the whole course of the movie, it's just about Willy Wonka's journey to opening up his shop and to reuniting in a way with his mom and what her wishes were. And we also see that transferred through Noodle, who is Kayla Lane in this film, brilliantly played by her, of us getting introduced to another character. I think that's also a key element here, is that it's not focused solely on Willy Wonka. You care just as much about this little girl, Noodle, as you do about Willy. And because of that, I think it helps even more with this story pushing forward, along with a great supporting cast that none of them attempt to outshine the two characters that you should care the most about in this film. And because you care the most about them, and because you care about Noodle and Willy's relationship, and we see both of them come from tragic pasts of parents and wanting and fawning over that relationship with their mothers, and both of them trying to find a way to mend that by also becoming friends with one another and trying to get out of a horrible situation that they've been put into. Like all of those elements are what makes Wonka so good, along with again amazing song, amazing cinematography. This film again, it feels like it should have dark elements in it, but it's so bright and lovely. Like you can't help but feel joyous while you're watching it, even when the supposed evil things are happening. Like Michael K. Keegan, who plays a cop in this film, who's being brought off by the cartel with chocolate. So as the film goes on, you just see him getting bigger and bigger and bigger because of the amount of chocolate that they're using to bribe him with. It's hilarious. It works when you don't think that type of element should work for this film. But again, it's so joyous, it's so innocent. It's very, and I know I'm keep on saying this, it's very reminiscent of the way animated films used to be, the way Disney animated films used to be, the way DreamWorks animated films used to be, where you would have that villain, or you would have the villain doing evil things, but it just didn't feel unnecessarily evil. It felt silly evil, but evil enough where it pushes the story forward. And that's what you get with here with Wonka. That's what makes Wonka so enjoyable. While when you get to the third act, it gets a tad shaky because it has to come to a conclusion. And some of it is overly silly, but nonetheless, it still keeps its childlike innocence throughout the whole film. And Timothy's performance is spot on. After this film, I don't think you will be looking at any of the past iterations or actors who've played Willy Wonka and seeing them as Willy Wonka as much as you're going to see Timothée as Willy Wonka. He is perfect in this film. His singing, dancing, acting, if you know his work, you understood just how amazing of an actor he is. With this one, you get to see the singing and the dancing element in it also, and the innocence in this role is so amazing. It just pushes everything forward. Like you don't get normally to see someone who's been nominated for a multitude of awards come out and have what you can consider a star making performance. Like this is the type of film that for an established star, when they do it, you understand like this is the next level. Like this is what's going to make him possibly one of the most wanted actors in the business because he nails this role and he nails it so well that he becomes a character that has been known for over 40 to 50 years now with different iterations of actors playing them. And now he's taking all of their places because he's this great in this movie. So, Wonka, which is currently in theaters, brought to you by Warner Brothers, out of a possible 10, I'm going to give Wonka a 9 out of 10. This is the musical to see this year. So a lot of musicals did come out this year, and one of them in particular that I was highly disappointed by. But Wonka is not that one. Wonka is, to me, the best family film of this year. Wonka is the best musical of this year, and Timothée gives one of the best performances of the year. So you can't beat it. It's a trifecta of almost perfection that you get from seeing the movie. But check it out. Let us know what you think. This has been another JVS movie review. Peace, people.